I am so excited. Rwby Volume 8 is finally here. It's the 7th of November and I just can't wait to get into the video. But it seems we will have to wait because I just need to go over a couple of things with you guys first. So, number one, make sure you keep up to date with all our YouTube channel videos. There's so many more coming out. Obviously, there's going to be this video. There's we've already got one up about Oscar's semblance, and there's going to be one about Crow being Ruby's father, which is a semblance, a theory that I'm really, really interested in and have a huge passion for. So yeah, I'm so excited for you guys to see that. Second thing, we've been looking on Rwby Amino and a couple of websites about Rwby because we're obsessed, and we found this thing which was Rwby Volume 8 Bingo, which I thought looked really, really cool. I know quite a lot of them are similar, but what we're going to do is we're going to have a competition to see who can cross as many off as possible. So and I will probably use that because she's really good at competitions, just in general. So Phoebe should be showing a picture of her bingo down in the bottom corner now, and I'm going to read my bingo out to you guys, and hopefully you'll agree with some of the stuff, and I really love you to leave your sort of comments and hopes for Rwby Volume 8 down below as well. So first off, more of Crow and Robin. Right, I don't want them to be in a romantic relationship, but I really want them to just be good friends, you know, and just Robin to be there for Crow, and I'm really excited for that relationship. Second thing, Crow and Tyrion fight, because, and I mean literally just Crow and Tyrion, because every time Crow and Tyrion have fought, Crow has always been distracted. So in Volume 4 it was by Rwby and John, Nora and Ren. He was sort of protecting them and trying to stop Rwby from getting involved, and he was being distracted by them. And in Volume 7 he was also being attacked by Clover. So I really want him to just be able to go all out on Tyrion without having any other distractions or concerns. Obviously his semblance was a huge concern for him, especially in Volume 4. So that, I really, really, really want to see that. Third thing I want to see is actually more on Hazel Reinhardt. Hazel is a very, very interesting villain, but purely because he's like no other villain. So I really want to see more about him and more about his twin sister Gretchen, and maybe a bit more development on that as well. Fourth thing, this is probably the thing I want most to happen in all the world. I feel really bad for this. Don't get me wrong, I love Oscar, but I really want him to be captured. I don't know why, but I do. Yeah, I just really want that to happen. I love you, Oscar, and I'm sorry. So leading on from that, something that might happen after Oscar's captured is Rwby, Team Rwby, or Rwby by herself, or everybody coming face to face with Salem for the first time. I feel like that would be a huge thing for them to deal with, and a huge thing just in general. It would be massive for the entire team of people fighting against Salem to actually meet her and come face to face with her. So I think that would be a really cool point on everybody's character development and plot development as well. Sixth thing I want is Whitley to have a redemption arc. And yes, don't get me wrong, I don't like Whitley, but who I do like is Weiss. And Weiss, well, Willow told Weiss to not forget her brother. So I think that Weiss may sort of persuade Team Rwby and the others to go back for Whitley, and to try and maybe he will then get a redemption arc and I might actually like him. But, you know, Weiss rescue / Whitley redemption arc I think would be really cool. 7, I also feel really bad for this one, but I kind of want a major character to die, like, you know, Pyrrha, someone like that, you know. So I think it would really just make everybody realise, because I think Rwby at the moment is getting a bit overconfident, you know, and she's being proved she's being proved right every time with her overconfidence, you know, going up against the Aesops. She was like, oh yeah, we can beat you, and they did. I mean, it was quite close, but they did. And especially, I noticed this is quite a way back, but in Volume 6, when Rwby is talking with Crow, when she's shouting at Crow about, I mean, fair enough, Crow was a bit of a drunk, but she sort of gets a bit overconfident and starts saying, like, our way is the best way. But if you think about it, they needed Crow to save them in Volume 4. They've needed Crow so many times. You know, not that doing it their way. It's the kids' way. It's not, but like, you know what I mean? I feel like she's just getting a bit overconfident, and I think she needs something to bring her up short and suddenly realise this isn't just a game, you know, this is something actually happening. I really feel like everybody would be affected by a character dying at this point in the plot line. So I also kind of want a character to die. So yeah, sorry. Next one is a bit more cheerful. A Raven return. Now, I really, really, really want Raven Bronwyn to come back, and I want more backstory on her. Now, I won't mention anything about Team Stark because that's another bingo point that I've got coming later, but I really want her to come back, especially because she has the Spring Maiden powers. She is one of Team Rwby's and co. Best chances at beating Salem. I think if they can get all the maidens together and all the relics together. Obviously, that's not going too well because Salem's got a relic, but now, you know, Penny's the Winter Maiden, so it's going well. It's going, yeah. So if Raven came back, then I think it would really help Team Rwby a lot. 9. I really, really, really want to know why Ren was acting so weird in Volume 7. He was being all, we must focus on the mission. Nora, stop distracting me. We must focus on the mission. Mission is all that matters. So I really want to know why that was. Does he have some sort of backstory in Atlas? Is there something to do with his semblance that's affecting him? I really want to know about that. Number 10, going along with sort of the backstory theme, Arthur Watts. I want to know why he's a disgraced Atlesian scientist and what made him turn to Salem, because he is probably one of the weirdest villains on Salem's side. He's not a fighter, he's a scientist. So although, yeah, he's probably a very good thing to have, he's not a usual typical villain. Next one, another one on the theme of backstories. I want more about Nora and Nora's backstory. We did get when Nora and Ren first met, and we got that backstory in Volume 4, but we don't know anything about how Nora ended up on the street or what her and Ren did after the attack on, I think it was Kuroyuri and the Nucleave, and also what happened with her semblance. I mean, it's very rare that someone just gets randomly struck by lightning. Like, I really feel like there's something more there. So that would be quite cool to have a Nora backstory. Number 10, very simple. More Maria! Maria Calavera, you're the best! Oh my god, please just give us more of her. And don't let her die. She's the only one. Please, don't let her die. Number 11. Ironwood either, I don't think this is very likely, but Ironwood either joins Salem, or he dies, which I think is probably the more likely option of those two. I think his semblance metal helps him focus on one specific objective, and I think he's definitely anti-Salem, so I don't think he's going to join Salem, but I think he may die because he didn't join Salem. So yeah, along the theme of Atlas and Atlas military, number 12, please let Marrow, I love Marrow so much, please let him have a redemption, but any ace operative redemption really. Probably not Harriet. Harriet seems to be quite on the side of Ironwood, but I think possibly, most likely Marrow, then Vine, and then Elm. Yes. So then we have number 13, my first ship, the first one I actually support as well, Rose Garden. And that's Oscar Pine and Ruby Rose. And I know it's probably not going to happen because of Ozpin, but I think it would just be really cute if it did. Yeah, so my heart melts a bit when I see them too, so please, if Ozpin doesn't take over, because it'd be a bit weird if Ozpin took over, and then, yeah. Let's not get into that. So number 14, someone leave Salem. Now, we've had a lot of hits on the side of Team Rwby, and although Salem has suffered some losses, I really don't feel like she's suffered as much loss as Team Rwby and co, you know. So I really think that maybe someone either leaves Salem, probably most likely it would be Emerald or Mercury or both of them. But possibly someone dying as well, someone from Salem's faction dying. So, number 15, Hazel backstory. I think I've already mentioned this one, but I really want to know more about where he got the idea of injecting dust into his body as well. So I really want to know more about not specifically the Hazel backstory, but also more about how dust can be used, maybe different types of dust. But so I think maybe in Hazel's backstory we might find out a bit about dust and things like that. But I would just really love to know how dust, you know, can be injected into the body, how it can be used, maybe new types of dust, that sort of thing. Number 16, Team Stark flashback. I purposefully didn't mention Team Stark when I mentioned Raven because I really, really, really want a Team Stark reunion and flashback. So this may not happen this volume. So when I talk about Team Stark reunion, I'm talking about Raven, Crow, and Ty all together. Summer, I'm on the side that she's dead. So I know that a lot of people think she may just be imprisoned or something like that, but I do think she's dead. But something to do, so the last 3 members of Team Stark coming back together and them having a flashback to when they were at Beacon, that would be so good to see. I would love to see that. Okay, point 17. The last question of the lamp is used. Of course, this would mean that either Oscar or Rwby would have to be captured, but it would be really, really cool to see what question it is, what Jin would react to, like, having to answer a question from Salem, that sort of thing, because Jin is definitely very personality type of genie, you know, she's got like a really strong personality, so I think it would be so funny to see her sort of diss Salem or something. That would just be hilarious. Number 18, a bit of a sadder note. I really would like it if someone didn't die. I'd like it if they got injured, at least, like, you know, a serious injury, something like Yang losing her arm, maybe Rwby losing an eye, I know is a popular one, so maybe something like that. I think it would just help to drive the team, you know? So, number 19, again, another up. Rwby goes undercover. Sorry, I really feel like it was foreshadowing when she said, you know, I'm gonna go undercover in volume 7. And that really cute, adorable little voice that I just loved, and my heart just broke when she said that. But I think it would just be, you know, really nice to see her sort of doing something that was foreshadowed in volume 7 and that sort of thing. Point number 20, this also links into a theory video that is about to come out. Crow being Ruby's father and that being revealed. Please let that happen. Please, please, please. I'm so for this. Like, oh, it just makes so much sense in my mind. So that would be really cool if that happened. Number 21, quite simple. Really, really, really want a new character with a new semblance, with like new stuff. It would just be so cool. And yeah, so number 21, new character. Number 22, another theory video that has already come out. I really want to know what Oscar's semblance is, and I'm pretty sure he's going to get one. So really hope that comes out this volume. 23. So this is a bit more of a complicated one, but you know, in Salem's hall back in the Darklands, there are 6 seats on the table. Go check this out because there are 6 seats on the table, and we've only seen 4 of Salem's sort of generals. So it'd be really cool to see if there were sort of like the other 2 generals. Maybe they don't exist, I'm not sure, but it'd be really cool if they were. And my guess for if they do exist, seeing as we've never seen them before, it'd be really cool if they were a member of Team Ruby's fight. So I think if it was gonna be that, I think it would probably most likely be Maria, because everybody else in that sort of group has almost been like vetted. You know, we know the entire life story of pretty much everyone. Not really Crow, but I think Crow he's not going to be the traitor. So I think Maria, unfortunately, would probably be the traitor in that case, but really want to know who the other one is as well. And number 24, finally, Jacques Schnee being taught a lesson. I really, really, really want him to see just... I hate that guy so much, so I just really want him to see, like, have a sort of punishment or something and just think, yeah, you deserve that. But yeah, that's my bingo, and hopefully Phoebe will have had hers up in the corner this whole time so you can see those as well, what she thought. But first of all, let's get into Rwby Volume 8, Episode 1. This is the most exciting thing ever. I love that music. What's happening? It's black. It's just completely black. Somebody's washing the floor? Is this like a volume 4 all over again? Oh, what's that? What is that? Neo and Cinder? And Cinder's shadow arm. Neo's so cool. Oh.
There.
Oh, Neo doesn't look happy. Neo looks a bit scared, actually. I really feel like Neo's gonna stab Cinder in the back. Oh, that does, yeah. Wow, look at that whale. Oh my god. And all those grim. Oh, I love how it's got like little landing pods in its... I don't know where that is. I love this music so much. I can't wait to see Salem's reaction when they produce the lamp. She's gonna be so... Oh, Neo is so out of her depth right now.
My queen.
Look at her design. Oh, that's so good.
Cinder. When I chose you as my vessel for the maidens, I put my trust in you. So I trust that you wouldn't possibly return to me empty-handed.
The relic of knowledge.
Oh, Salem is
right from under Ironwood's
surprised. Neo is...
Outsmarting the general speaks less to your intellect and more to his.
Oh, Tyrion. Love you.
After all, you were outsmarted by those children first.
And according to radio chatter, that same general and his forces outsmarted you. A shame Watts never made it back.
I'm afraid the doctor was a necessary sacrifice.
Did they plan to have what?
I do hope this little one doesn't become another.
Oh, Neo is not happy about that.
Who is she?
Neapolitan has some very useful abilities and has proven to be a valuable asset.
You certainly do enjoy collecting assets.
Ooh. Oh, yes, they're back! They're back! And they've got completely new costume change. Oh, this is so great.
I knew you'd quiet.
Ooh. Oh, and Hazel, look at Hazel!
So devoted to someone so incompetent.
Oh, wow. And Emerald was hurt by
The
that.
doctor and I were advancing the will of our goddess, dismembering the very body of this kingdom. You were merely atoning for past failures.
Tyrion has so much rivalry with
the
Cinder.
transfer of the Winter Maiden power. But now I know she has it. And once I return to
Oh, that
Outlaw,
is
it
true.
won't take
So
long
now
to finish
everybody
what I
knows.
started.
Everyone on Salem's faction knows
power will be
that
mine.
Penny is the Winter Maiden. Penny is going to have such a target on her
I've
back.
given no such command.
Ma'am, now is the time to...
What is that? Is that whale like?
This game is not yours to win,
Sona.
Cinder. It's mine. Just because you're more valuable to me
Trailer.
than a pawn does not make you a player.
Ooh.
Everything is already
Salem
emotional.
completely putting Cinder back in her
All you need
place.
concern yourself with is your ability to act when I tell you to.
Of course. Without you, I am nothing.
Cinder, you're so subservient. This is so good. I can't believe Hazel and Mercury and Emerald have come back and they look so good. I love Hazel's haircut. But they look so good. And Emerald was so totally put in her place by Cinder. It's like, Emerald was completely surprised by Cinder being so sort of harsh with her. Ooh, where's this? Is this Mantle? Oscar.
Huh?
Oh, eat. Oscar's so like weirded out.
Thank you.
Oh, this is a nice guy. This is like shopkeep. It's shopkeep all over again.
Heads up.
Is this Team Ruby? Yeah! Oh yeah, Ruby! They're back together! Oscar and oh, thank God, because I was so worried about that. Oh, is this from the trailer? I don't think this is from the trailer, but this looks like a scene from the trailer, possibly. I think it.
I was stupid to think the general would listen. Every choice I've made was the wrong one. And now...
We all did what we thought was best.
Yeah.
I'm just glad you're all right.
Oh, yeah, cute little moment between. Oh, oh, is that Happy Huntresses?
Yeah, I see you.
Maria.
Inside. Hurry.
Oh, nice shot, nice shot.
I know. Sector 3 is going to need the most help. I'm sending backup your way right now. Fiona, do you copy? We need transport from Sector 3 to the crater.
Copy.
Wow. Oh, is that there? Nora! I love that he was expecting such like a massive hug and then oh, that's so cute and tender.
When we heard you went off after
Ren looks really just angry.
How did you end up
annoyed.
down in the slums?
It's a... long story. I get the feeling there's been a few of those tonight.
Yep. Fugitives, every single one of them. Oh.
You're not going to tell them.
You and I aren't done talking yet.
Oh, oh, that is so
Where's
cool.
Crow?
Oh, yeah, Crow. Oh, poor Crow in prison.
We don't know.
That's right. Oh my God, they don't
Last we
know.
heard he was with Robin, but
They don't know that he's been
Alright.
arrested.
Your friend is back now. You ready to work?
Oh, she was so great.
The largest Grim Horde ever seen is hovering over the tundra, and out there is a city full of people with no heat, and from what you told us, no more military protection. And while we're happy to give you guys a place to lie low for a while, it's time to get those people some help.
How? Ironwood is stopping all evacuations to Atlas, and we can't get them out of the city with Salem's forces
The crater.
surrounding us.
Yes, the crater.
Beneath
Yeah.
Atlas. It's not safe, but it's warm. And with everyone in one place, we can do a better job protecting
That's
them.
sensible. That is sensible.
May can send you where you're needed most. We've got to get everyone down into that crater before nightfall. In the slums, we might have a chance.
we're never going to sleep again. I just know it.
Why is she all so great?
Either you're helping, or you're baggage.
Oh. Man, their costumes look so cool.
We need to get out there and do what we can for Mantle.
Oh, Traitor.
We need to do what we can for everyone. What about Amity? And telling the world about Salem? We can't do this alone.
Oh,
We
people.
need help.
Ruby's right. The Happy Huntresses are handling the evacuation better than we could. And there's a bigger picture. But Amity isn't even finished. It was still under construction.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Doctor, what would you need to launch Amity
They're
now?
Pietro.
We made decent progress on construction and fuel collection. All potentially manageable, but Amity was designed so that it couldn't launch itself without first being granted clearance from General Ironwood's terminal.
Oh.
Ruby.
Ruby's
there
going
is
undercover.
No way Ironwood will cooperate with us.
But he doesn't have to. We just need the green light from his terminal, right?
You want to go back to the academy?
Yeah, actually, there is more than one terminal. The one in his office and one in the main Atletian military compound
yeah.
at the base of the city. You'd have to get into the compound somehow, then get inside the operations
Yeah,
room.
Ruby's going
Yeah.
undercover.
Oh boy, I might need to think about this some more.
And just to clarify, this is the easy
What you're saying is it can't be done. It's pointless. And even if you got the message out, there's no guarantee help would come.
It's
Ruby
not
and Yang
pointless.
argue. Well done,
This is
Phoebe.
Salem's current target. She's not hiding anymore, and once she's done here, she'll move on to the
That's
rest of
very true.
Remnant. We need to warn
Very,
them.
very true. Incredibly true.
Ruby, when we came here, we said we'd follow your lead.
Yeah.
But things haven't exactly worked out.
Oh, Yang, that is.
There are people here who need us right now. That's something we can actually
So
do.
Yang and Ren are
This isn't
teaming
about
up.
just Atlas.
And Nora,
Ruby's
this
right.
makes sense.
It's about all of
This
Remnant.
is why the
They
team
need to
splits
know
that
in
way.
Vecchio, in Mistral, in Vale, what's coming.
Yeah.
So they can prepare.
Okay. Then let's go for both. Get Amity up and running and evacuate Mantle.
But that's how Salem got this far, by dividing us. We have to stick together.
No. What Salem wants is to turn us against each other.
This is really good.
Just like
this
this.
is like them cooperating with each
John has a
other.
point. We can work separately and still be united.
Or let me take the relic to Salem. And maybe she will call off her attack on the kingdom.
I don't think we can trust
Penny.
Salem to actually do that.
You're so
The moment
naive
she
and
uses the
innocent. I'm
staff to
sorry,
create
but
anything
no.
else, Atlas falls onto Mantle.
Nobody's turning you over to anybody. I think that's the one thing we could all agree on.
Yeah.
Okay. Then I guess we're going to Atlas. Can you help us get to that terminal?
I suppose someone needs to help you bypass security.
I'll go.
Penny.
Penny, we can't risk...
I'll go.
Oh, Penny. Oh, you're so cool, but you're so willing to sacrifice
Do what
yourself.
you gotta do. I'm going out there to see what I could do.
Oh yeah, Blake hasn't said anything right now. What does Blake think about all this?
Yang. Go by the farm.
Motorbikes!
I was developing some new tools for you all before this happened. You're gonna need them.
Nora?
I'm going with Ruby.
But what about Mantle?
Oh, I'm saving Mantle. Because I actually believe we can do this.
That's good.
Hey, we're still united.
I hope so.
I can get Pietro out to Amity to
Guess,
prepare,
like-
but that doesn't answer how we're getting all of you up to Atlas.
I might actually have an idea for
Ooh. What's happening? Who's ringing her? Oh, General Ironwood is ringing. Oh no! What is she gonna say?
Hello, Penny. I'm worried for your safety.
Oh.
Tell me where you are, and I'll have you picked up right away.
He sounds so.
Atlas needs you, Penny. Salem is here.
He sounds so dead.
She's not going anywhere until you change your mind about Mantle. There's still a chance for Remnant to
Mantle? You're still worried about Mantle? Remnant is doomed, Ruby. Unless we leave, Salem will destroy Atlas, and with it, any hope humanity has left.
True.
We need to think about the future.
Oh yeah.
She makes it through her defenses. Everything that follows will be on your
He still
hands.
thinks that Atlas is the only thing that can save Remnant, but it is not. You need to call on aid from Vacuo. Oh, Marrow, please, please, please change sides. Please, please, please. He looks so sad. Marrow, you don't have to do this. Harriet's angry. Oh, Clover. Oh my god, Clover. I almost forgot about Clover. And Winter in hospital. And his arm is so cool. Oh, his arm is so cool. But, oh, the Aesops are going to be so sad.
Processed in Stockade B.
Oh, poor Clover and poor Aesops. They're going to have to deal with that.
Crow and Robin.
Oh. Ooh.
Could you give us the room, please?
Yes, talk about Crow and Robin, please. Please, what have you got in store for them? Don't kill them.
I'll be fine.
Thank you, Winter. I don't know what I would
Also,
do
another
without
point to freaking Ruby.
I've
Phoebe, not Ruby.
you. No one has ever seen a Grim Force this large before. The city's hard-light shields will hold, but not forever.
What will you do? sir.
Trailer.
Wait, you can't be in here.
This is absurd. Let us through.
Council people.
I am going to do everything I can to defend this kingdom.
I mean, like, you know, that's fair enough.
No matter the cost.
But that's not fair enough. It's his job to protect the kingdom, but did he just shoot Councilman? Oh my, he is crazy. He is crazy. Even Winter thinks he's crazy. Even Harriet thinks he's crazy. Wow, that is... Oh, I can't believe he just did that. I mean, yeah, I know he shot Oscar last time, but he had a whole conversation before he shot Oscar.
I have questions.
Trailer. She's about to say something. First, I need the one who can show me how. Bring him to me. Him! It's Oscar! I knew it! I called it! It's Oscar! Oscar is going to be captured. Oh, that Grim looks so cool. Like, I've only seen its nose, but... Is that the end? Please don't say that's the end. Oh, that's the end. That is the end. This song is so good. Wow. I love how they have the memories. Oh, and the Aesops in each of Clover's leaves. Crow. And Robin. Oh, yes. Whoa, Salem has wings. This is so cool. Willow and Whitley, they're gonna come back. Willow and Whitley are gonna be back. Chessboard? Wow, this is so cool. Well, I mean, I think it's probably foreshadowing a big battle, so... And Cinder just gripped her arm in pain, maybe silver eyes again or something? Oh. Happy ever asked again, that's so cool! That's so cool. Oh, that is amazing. Oh, I'm so excited for Rwby Volume 8. That was such a good first episode. The opening, I cannot... Neo looks so out of her depth with Salem. She, at every turn, she was surprised. She was surprised by the whale monster. Then she was surprised by how Salem looked. And then she was called, like, you know, this little girl. And she was like, I haven't been called a little girl in, like, 13 years or something. So I think she really thinks that, like, she's sort of out of her depth. I think she is a little bit just living beyond her means, if you see what I mean. Cinder got put in her place straight away by Salem, which I thought was really interesting, that power play there, where Salem got a bit cocky because she, you know, got the relic and she was like, I'm the coolest, and then Salem was like, no you're not, sit down. Paraphrasing there. And I also thought how interesting it was, I've never really seen Tyrion sort of really aggressive, like, towards Cinder. There was a real sort of almost verbal fight going on there, and I've never seen that before, so maybe Tyrion feels like he's being sort of challenged by Cinder in a way, because Cinder got the Relic of Knowledge. I mean, that is an amazing achievement, and although he did sort of set up the entire kind of fall of Atlas, I guess, it's not quite as great as getting the Artifact of Knowledge, so I think he was trying to push Cinder down there. But did you see when Emerald ran in, Cinder was me that quiet Emerald, you know? And I feel like maybe Emerald and Mercury have been replaced by Neo. She's sort of, or maybe at least Emerald, she's in her mind, she's replacing Emerald with Neo, and Emerald's going to become almost sort of unnecessary and not needed, and I think that's going to be really hard for Emerald to deal with, because we saw in Volume 6, which was the last time we saw Emerald and Mercury, those, Emerald was like, Cinder cares about me, she taught me things, you know, so I really think that Emerald will feel incredibly put out, and I think that may cause her to change sides, and like Phoebe said, Phoebe wins again. But Phoebe said put in one of her bingo boxes, Emerald switches sides, and I think that is going to happen now, because I think we've almost sort of seen a replacement of like Emerald with Neo. I'm not sure about Mercury. Mercury seems to have detached himself from Cinder a little bit, and he's sort of stepped out of being behind Cinder, if you in a metaphorical way, if you see what I mean. Hazel just looks so cool right now, the haircut and the jacket. He is looking awesome, and I can't wait to see some more of him, because he is one of the most interesting villains, I think. His motive is so clear, and he just is so, he's almost like he's got Ironwood's semblance, just metal, which is just focus, I will kill Ozpin, I will kill Ozpin. But he doesn't let that show on the surface, and he's almost gentle on the surface. So, and he seems to have formed quite a big connection with Emerald and Mercury. From what I saw of sort of Volume 5, Volume 6, end of Volume 5, Volume 6, he seemed to have almost be sort of sticking up for them. He seemed to be with them quite a bit. So maybe Emerald might become almost Hazel's disciple, like she was Cinder's, and now she might become Hazel's. I'm not sure. Either that or Hazel might help her get away. I saw a sort of almost theory type thing where it was basically just a little point really, where Hazel, the person said that Hazel might view Emerald almost like his old sister, you know, Gretchen. He might have see Emerald a little bit like that. I also thought it was really interesting how quickly they got back together again. I thought there was going to be this whole big thing with Oscar being all by himself, and I thought that's going to be really boring. But I really like how they brought it back together very quickly, and the team was back together. But I liked how they sort of did everybody was working a little bit out and saying, oh, we can do this, but we can also do this. We have to do this. We can split up, you know. But it's interesting to see everybody's different views. Like Yang is very for protecting Mantle, so is Ren. Rwby and Nora are very for protecting the rest of the world and telling the rest of the world. But I think it's quite interesting that they've chosen those 4 characters specifically, because Yang and Rwby have an incredibly close connection to each other. So I feel like it takes quite a lot for them to be brought apart. I mean, we saw in Volume 5 they were physically, between Volume 3 and Volume 5 they were physically brought apart, and Yang literally crossed continents to go and find her sister again. But now they're almost being mentally brought apart and split with their opinions, and I think that's really good character development. But it's also quite sad to see them growing up and not always agreeing with each other on everything and having their own opinions. I think it's really good, but I don't want to let them go, you know? And I also think it's very interesting that they chose Ren to be with Yang and Nora to be with Rwby. Like, they are very definitely sort of on those sides. Because Ren and Nora only just got together in a relationship. You know, they had their first kiss in Volume 7, and I think it was about halfway to sort of towards the end of Volume 7, so they've only really just got into this relationship, and now they're splitting up again, they're splitting their ideals, and Ren and Nora are also 2 people who have been like that from Volume 1, you know, they were partners in the Emerald Forest, they've been in the same team forever, they've lived together since they were like, I don't know, maybe 8 or something. I'm not sure when the Nucleave attacked Kuroyuri, but they have been together like this all their lives, so I really want to see how this sort of split affects them and how they feel about each other. I think Ren was definitely surprised when he saw Nora not agreeing with him and Nora going with Rwby. He sort of went Nora, and Nora kind of said, I'm going with Rwby. And I think he was quite surprised about the fact that suddenly this whole person who he's been with his whole life, he's not gonna be with her anymore. I don't think there has been an on-screen moment where those two have been apart, and I don't think there would be an off-screen moment when those two would be apart. I can't think of a reason why, and this is going to be the first time in potentially years where they're actually separated from each other. So that's going to be really, really interesting to see. I feel like Weiss and Blake are sort of going along with it, you know. They are definitely looking to Rwby. Rwby is their leader. I feel like Yang almost feels like she has a privileged position because she's Ruby's sister. She can feel like she can disagree with Rwby more. But Weiss and Blake, they're going along with Rwby, which I think is interesting because I thought Blake might go with Yang, but she's not, this is really good to see because I didn't want it to become like Blake just does whatever Yang says, you know? So, and I love how they were working it out in that room with Pietro. Maria, again, she's just a G, you know, she's the best. And Penny was, I don't know what's going on with Penny. She seems different. She seems spooked. And I think it might be getting the Winter Maiden powers. It's just completely altered her entire life. And probably also not being on Ironwood's side. She was created on Ironwood's side for the Atlas military, the protector of Mantle. Her entire life has been about Atlas and the kingdom of Atlas. And now she's somewhere completely different. She's actually actively against Ironwood, not just sort of neutral, she's against him. And she's suddenly got these new powers, and we saw, going back to the beginning of the episode, Salem and the entirety of Salem's faction know that Penny is the Winter Maiden. Penny has got a huge target, like, spray painted all over herself. So that is going to be definitely nerve-wracking for me as a watcher. I'm going to be like, no, Penny, stay safe. Just wrap you in a little plasticine bubble and stay safe. But she definitely seems to be willing to sacrifice herself more than others are willing to sacrifice her, and I know that quite often happens, but she definitely seems to be ready to give herself up to help Rwby and their team. So that's going to be quite interesting. I think it may end in her having to give herself up, but I really hope not, because, you know, Penny's just Penny. Nobody can not like Penny. So then we had sort of little flashback type things. So we saw Yang in Mantle, and we saw Rwby in doing the sort of terminal thing. I think she's editing some sort of terminal. But I thought it was really, you know, really nice to see them progress in that way. I think there's a lot of character development going on there. Obviously we saw the bit from the trailer with Salem asking it might be a wolf grim, I'm not sure. We've only really seen its nose, but it looks cool. The nose looks cool. So I'm really excited to see what the rest of that grim looks like. And obviously I'm now expecting Oscar to be definitely targeted, unfortunately. But I think they have a good plan as well set in motion. Half of them are gonna try and get Amity up and running, half of them are gonna protect people in the crater. I think they have a purpose and a direction, and I think that's really good, because I feel like maybe in Atlas they were floating a bit, you know, they were drifting a little bit from their main goal, and I think now this Salem arriving has just set them completely back onto we have to deal with Salem. I think they got a little bit distracted by becoming huntresses and huntsmen, and like fair enough, you know, that's a huge deal for them, but I think they forgot almost for a moment that Salem existed, and now they've just been set back on track. So excited for the next episode. I cannot wait like a whole week. It's going to be a whole week. And it just goes by so quick, you know, but the episode. But I will see you guys in the next video. Don't forget to check out our Crow is Ruby's father theory video. That is going to be so cool. And yeah, please like, comment, subscribe. Please just, you know, support our channel, and we'll definitely keep making these videos. So I will see you in the next video.